Hello everyone and welcome to this Q&A session on Power BI, Power App and Power Automate. I'm Dr. Gomati and I'm excited to be here today to answer all those questions which are most frequently asked questions on these technologies. So over a time, I have received a lot of queries from professionals, freshers, and enthusiasts who wanted to start their career or advance their career in these technologies. So I have gathered all those questions, and in this session, I will be answering all the questions in detail. So whether you are a beginner or an experienced one, this session will give you a lot of insights with a lot of resources, free courses, so everything. So let's dive right into these questions. So let's start from the first question. How can one move to this field and what are the focus points we should keep in mind while learning from fresh? Can you suggest a proper plan to develop the knowledge in this field for freshers? It's actually a great question. Okay. So to move into this field of Power BI, Power Apps or Power Automate, especially for freshers, follow these steps. First thing is what you have to understand the basics of data analytics. You have to start understand like you can learn Excel, understand pivot tables, data modeling, formulas and etc. You should get comfortable with the SQL like SQL say what is how to use the select, joins, aggregations, indexing. A lot of functions will be there in the SQL and normalization. It should be great. And then understand the database like relation versus non-relational, why these databases are exist and where you will be using all these things. Because this is the basics of any data analytics. Then you can start with the Power BI. Okay. So this is what you have to do. You have to understand the basics of data analytics data, and you can for this you can use Excel, SQL. You can try with the SQL, or also you can understand the databases like how these data works and database works. And then moving forward, you should then learn about a Power BI. Like you should start using Power BI in your daily basis, like how to import and everything. And then you should explore like what are the things you have to learn is what you have to learn about the Power Query Editor, that is the ETL process and etc. You have to understand the data modeling like relational star schema, how these things works. And you should also learn about the DAX, that is data analytics expression. And you should try to learn you should try to build the reports from the scratch and the dashboards from the scratch. And then you should explore Power Apps, Power BI, Power Apps and Power Automate. So Power App, what is the purpose of the Power App and what is the purpose of the Power Automate into it? So all these things you can just go ahead, and then definitely you should work on the real-time projects. Okay. So real-time projects, you can take up any hot data sets which are available, and then you can work on it. You can find try to understand what are the various requirements that or various insights you can give on that. Okay. So build at least 3 to 5 projects in the Power BI, Power Automate and Power Apps. Okay. You can use the public data set like Kaggle, or you can also get it from the Microsoft Learning. And then what is the next step is what you have to build your profile. So building a profile is nothing but you have to just start doing some certifications, like if you want to continue with Power BI, you have to do PL 300 certification, or you can just go ahead with PL 600, sorry, DP 600 or DP 700. Okay. So this is for data, and you can start with this, and then you have to prepare a portfolio to showcase your dashboard apps and everything. And then you have to apply for the jobs. Okay, go ahead and apply for the jobs from, you have various options like LinkedIn, Naukri, etc, etc. And you can also apply for the freelancing jobs as well, and you have to continue your networking, so that is very very important. So you have to continue your networking thing. Okay, so you have to connect with many people who are in the same technology, so you can learn from them. Okay, and since you have asked for some suggest a proper plan, I have suggested these plan like how you can start with. So the next question is what are the resource from where one should learn Power BI, Power Apps and Power Automate. The first and foremost resource what I can suggest you is what from the Microsoft Learning path. So Microsoft has given you a proper documentation for all these technologies like Power BI, Power Automate, Power Apps. So you can find this. I will just comment below. Okay, like link. I'll be sharing you the links for you. So Power BI documentation is here, complete documentation is here, and this is your Power Apps complete documentation, and this is Power Automate complete documentation is here. Okay, so you can start learning from these things. So this is the best way, and if you are looking for Power BI, yes, you can also learn it from my web, like my channel. Okay, so this is the one, like you can see, it's a Power BI services bootcamp. I'll be conducting a lot of bootcamp in my YouTube channel, so you can find it. And this is a Power Query editor, and this is for Python and Power BI. And if you just scroll down, you can see Power BI English. Okay, so I'll be updating a lot of videos here, so you can find it from this as well. And for the free resources, you can find my GitHub repository. You can see the repository is here. Okay, and you can just go with the Power BI essentials. You can just start it if you want to use it, and you can also fork this. Okay, so once if you click this, you can find there is a fork option, so where you can get the copy of this particular this one. Okay, the copy of this particular thing for you. Okay, so you can fork this as well. Next, can you provide best resource on Power Apps and Power Automate? Again, I can say you that go ahead with the Microsoft Learn. Few documents which also includes, like videos and explanations as well, or else you can also find, for if you're looking for a Power App, you can also get it from the YouTube as well, or any free courses. You can just search for that. Okay, for I think for Power Apps we don't have any specific free courses, and for Power Automate, yes, I can, you can blindly go and search it in the Microsoft Learn. Okay, that is the best resource I can suggest you. So this is the fourth question. Should we take paid classes to learn all these topics with SQL? It depends on your learning style. So if you are a self learner, so you can master those tools with the free courses which are offered by YouTube community or forums. You can also go ahead with these things, like you have W3 Schools SQL tutorial, SQL tutorial. You can learn one by one with the, you don't even need to install the SQL, so you can just try it by yourself itself. You can also learn it from this lead code. Okay, and also SQL Zoo. This is an excellent resource where you can learn SQL. So you have these three resources if you are a self learner. Or else, no, ma'am, I'm not a self learner. I want something like I have to pay, I have to go ahead with the path. Then you can just go ahead with the plural site or the Coursera. So if you just go ahead with the Coursera, SQL. So just type Coursera SQL. You can find a lot of videos on SQL. You can just learn from them as well. Okay. The question is what? How important is SQL in Power BI and Power Apps? So SQL is important for Power BI and Power Apps. Why? Because Power BI, which is used for data extraction, transformation, and performance optimization, where you will be getting a data from some source, right? So the SQL, if you know the SQL code, it will be very easy. And Power Apps used for connecting a Dataverse, SQL Server, and external database. So key concepts, like what are the key concepts you should learn is what: select, where, group by, having, all these DDL, DML commands, like joins, subqueries, common queries, take common table expressions, indexing and performance optimizations, which are very essential for the all everything. Like even if you want to go ahead with this SQL developer, you need this. Okay. So the sixth question, in Power BI, which are the most important points we should learn in DAX function? That's a great question. So DAX is critical for calculations in Power BI. Okay, so the key concepts which you should learn is what? First thing is aggregation. Okay, sum, average, min, max, everything you should know. And filter functions like filter, all, calculate, and okay, calculate comes under context manipulation. Okay, time intelligence, that is another important, like total YTD, total year to date, sample period year, date add, and context manipulations like calculate, related table, earlier, like that, and the performance optimization, like using a variable in that. So these are the most important thing, like filtering, time intelligence function. And you have a DAX guide as well here. So if you just go and search for this website, you can see the complete DAX directory. You can find it from here. Okay. So this is what, let's just go ahead with the seventh question. So what is the seventh question is what for freshers? How many projects should one go with and in which topic with a combination of SQL and Power BI? Okay. So for freshers, working on three projects is ideal. 3 to 5 project is ideal. Okay. Each project should cover a different aspects of Power BI and SQL to showcase your skill. For example, if you are using a sales dashboard, you have to go ahead with Power BI plus SQL. Or else, if you are only focusing on the Power BI, you can also use Excel. You have a open thing which are available. Sales dashboard, you can try Power BI with SQL because we have a lot of sample sales database available. So data like a sales transactions data, data modeling and DAX, you should learn that in that. You can also try with HR analytics where employee attrition rate. Okay. Even we have for HR data set which are available, and then finance budgeting and dashboard, that is another important thing for everyone, like expense and revenue tracking and the data for the SQL, and then customer churn analysis you can try, and supply chain and inventory management. So these are the 3 to 5 most used for almost all the domains. These 5 projects will be useful, so you can try with this. Okay, so these projects will help you to build a strong portfolio for the job application as well. So let's just go ahead with the eighth question. Like, what is the future scope in Power BI developer and Power Apps with Power Automate? Okay. The future scope is bright due to the increasing adoption of data analytics, automation, and AI powered apps. So all these three technologies are low code, no code apps. Okay, so anybody, it's not mandatory that you should be a programmer or you should have some knowledge like computer knowledge. No, it's not like that. Anybody who have the interest to learn these technologies can definitely learn irrespective of the domain. So that is the speciality of these technologies. So Power BI developers, that is the demand for data analyst and Power BI developers are growing. So organization and real time insights, dashboards and AI based analytics are there. Future advancements, AI powered copilot, fabric integrations and advanced data modelings are also there. Talking about Power Apps and Power Automate. So low code, no code development is booming for business automation as well. High demand for Power Platform developers and automation engineers and business app consultants. Future for Power Platform, like more AI integrations, process mining, and everything are there. So additionally, learning Azure Dataverse integration, integrating AI with the Power Apps will be given added value to that. Okay, so the next question for ninth question is what for experienced people, what challenges one will face according to you? Okay, so experienced professional may face a challenge like performance optimization in Power BI. Okay, so handling the large data set in Power BI and optimizing DAX queries. So this may be their challenge. Okay, and scalability and Power App solution. For example, how to manage the complex app with multiple connectors, ensuring the security and compliance, and Power Automate in the sense handling APIs, API rate limits, and workflow failures, optimizing the flows to reduce the execution time. All these things matter. So, what I can suggest you is stay updated of all these Power Platform technology. Keep your new features like Copilot, Fabric, AI integrations, and everything. Just learn everything. It's good. So, what are the salary expectation for fresher and someone with more than 3 years of experience? Okay, so I can give you a rough idea, but it's not, it depends on the locations. Okay. So because in India, it may differ. Even in India, in tier one cities, it may differ. In tier two cities, it may differ. Tier three cities, it may differ. So we cannot tell that okay, this is what the fixed salary like everyone is getting. Okay, so you cannot expect see if you are in Chennai, you can expect one set of salary, but if you are in some other country, some other city like Coimbatore or Trichy or Madurai, you cannot expect the same salary package in those cities as well because they are not at higher one cities, right? So it depends on the location. Okay, but approximately I can say in dollars, if you just think about in dollars, you can say like per year freshers will be getting a 40K to 60K. Okay. um Yeah, so freshers will be getting some 40,000, that is 34 lakhs. 34 lakhs per annum, 30 lakhs per annum. I have even heard about 10 lakhs per annum, okay, for the fresher. But that too, again, I'm telling it depends on which country you are going and which company you are getting in. Okay, if you're getting into a startup company, I cannot assure you that this is what the salary they will be giving you. So it's completely about which location, which company you are going into. So what I can expect you is, if you are a fresher and if you want to improve your like if you want to enhance your learning and knowledge, then better don't look for the salary, just go ahead and try understanding it. Okay, again, 1 to 3 years of developer. If you have developed, see, in 1 to 3 years, okay, for example, if you have 2 years of experience in Power BI, you are working in a tier 3 city. Okay, you are working in a startup company. Okay, but you have a lot of knowledge in that, you have worked in at least one or two projects within these 2 years, then you will have a lot of knowledge, right? So you may get an additional package, like not as a base average package. So if you want to know anything specifically on the location based, you can just go ahead and look into the Glassdoor. So Glassdoor is a place where you can just go ahead and search for what are the company salary, what are the average salary the people are getting, and how you can enhance more, like how you can expect and everything. Okay, so just if you just click on these things, you can just find what is the average salary. You have to sign in. Okay, they will not be charging anything. So just sign in and go for the salary and try to start using the like you have to sign in and get understand like what is the average salary in your location for this particular experience. Okay, so next to see is what the question number 11. Which are the companies we should focus on hiring for this type of skills and knowledge? Okay, so many companies actively hire for Power BI, Power Apps, and Power Automate roles. Okay, so you can just look for the tier one, like top companies like Microsoft, Google, Amazon, IBM, or the consulting firms like Deloitte, PwC, Accenture, EY, KPMG, financial and banking like JP Morgan, Chase, Goldman, JP Morgan, Chase, Goldman, and everything. Also, healthcare, Johnson and Johnson. So, as I told, like these technologies are not limited only for the computer based companies, okay, because these are required for, app is required for almost food and delivery thing, right? You have a Swiggy app with you, so it's almost required for all the domain. So it's not specific that you have to only go ahead with one such a company. It's well, data analysis is required for almost every companies, because they have to analyze the data irrespective of whether you have a computer background or not. They'll just see whether you know Power BI, that's it. Okay, so I can recommend you go ahead and check with the LinkedIn, like be in touch with the LinkedIn, just have a better network in the LinkedIn so that you will get a lot of contact over there. Okay, so the next question is what? Having knowledge of Power BI, SQL, Power Apps, and Power Automate, but still the profile doesn't get shortlisted easily. How should one ensure their resume has all the keywords and is properly structured to get shortlisted for both experienced and fresher? Okay, this is actually a big question. Okay, the first thing is every HR has one concept called ATS, which is applicant tracking system, which is to create a friendly resume. So you have to use the relevant job keywords, like whatever you have learned, like Power BI, DAX, SQL. So based on the description of your job, okay. So you can avoid fancy formatting like images or tables, etc. You have to clearly mention some summary of 2 to 3 lines in the resume. Add the skills, whatever the skills you have, even if it's a Power BI. Like people, what they'll do, like since DAX is also coming under Power BI, they will just put Power BI, but DAX is also required. Okay, DAX is a special skill which the companies are expecting. They will be adding that in the job description. So better add DAX as well in the sixth skill. Okay, and try to do some certification, add that certification in the resume. Complete the project, upload the project in the GitHub, and add the GitHub link in the resume. Explain about the project, experience, internships, and everything. Like you can use your GitHub or the portfolio links. So resume building is another important section, which if I wanted to talk, I can take at least a 1 hour to talk about it. If you want to make your resume as in the ATS format, you can just schedule a call with me here. I can help you out. Okay, according to the ATS, how you can make your resume better. So this is a link. It's there in the pinned comment section. You can try that. So the 13th question, what introduction should one keep prepared to have a strong impression in an interview? Okay, so you have to give a strong about yourself. So can start like I'm a Power BI and Power Apps developer with experience in the data analytics and data automation. Or else if you are a fresher, you can tell like I'm a data analyst enthusiast. So where I wanted to start my career with the data Power BI, I have learned a lot of things. You have to mention what you're specialized in. If you have learned DAX, Power Query, Power Apps, so whatever it is, you have to mention there. You have to mention your major certification in the project which you have done, and you have to end with a career goal. Okay, so whatever you have done, you have to end with like I'm excited to contribute my analytical skill and automation expertise to solve the business problem. So you have to tell what is the career goal you have. Okay, so you have to completely frame all these things whatever you have. So whatever the awards you have achieved, everything which are related to your that particular job, that is very important. Okay, so these are the key things. Like based on this, you can get the interaction properly, self-written interaction. You can write it, try to rewrite it, like try to restructure it. 14th question, what are the questions asked in interviews for the Power App and Power Automate? Okay, so you can find those questions in my ebook store. Okay, if you just go ahead, I have created a ebook for Power Platform Developer interview question and answers, which are skills required. Here I have discussed 116 questions with what kind of answer you have to tell, and what are the key skills which are required, everything in detail, and you can find that here. Okay, and if you want to get it, you can also get it from here. So the basic question, if you are a fresher, the questions may differ. If you are a experienced, the question may differ, and if you are an advanced level, your question may differ. So all those right from fresher towards the advanced, I have given the questions here in this particular in this particular thing. Okay, in this particular ebook, you can get it if you want. Okay, can you provide a project explanation on how important it is and what key points we must focus on while answering these questions? You're asking about the project explanation on Power BI, Power Ops, Power Apps, and Power Automate, right? So, let us just understand why the project explanation is important, because explaining a project effectively in an interview helps you to showcase your technical skills, your problem solving ability, your business acumen, and your contribution. So the key points, like you have to clearly state the project name, explain the business problem, and what it was addressing. Okay, so you can start like I developed a sales performance dashboard in Power BI to help the sales team track revenue, customer retention, sales trends in real time. And then you can say like what are the tools you have used. So I have used SQL Server or Excel for the data as a data source, and I have created a DAX functions, Power Query, relationship, row, level, security, etc. And you can also say that how it impacted the result. Okay, so how it reduced the report generation time by 70% or something. For example, you can say like I worked on a sales performance dashboard using a Power BI. The objective was to provide a real-time insights into the revenue, customer retention, and sales trends for a management team. So for this, I used SQL Server as the data source, built the data model in Power BI, and created a key DAX measures like year-over-year growth, customer retention rate, and revenue trends. One of the main challenges was dealing with a large data set which slowed down the performance. So to solve this, I implemented aggregated tables and optimized the DAX calculations. Additionally, I integrated Power Automate to schedule report refreshes and send automated email alerts to the sales manager. The result was a 70% reduction in a manual reporting time and improved decision making for the sales team. So my role involved in designing a data model, writing DAX calculations, and creating interactive visualization. The project had a great impact as the company could track sales in the real time and take the proactive actions. So something like that you can explain. So the 16th question, how do you make sure the security group is applied to the application or BI report to make sure it reaches the right people? And if someone new is added to the organization, how can we ensure that they are also added automatically from the department only? So this question is basically related to the security level. Okay, so how we are going to ensure the security? So you can use role level security. You can also try with Azure AD. Okay, so Azure Entra ID, because that is what actually used here. Okay, or you can also use Power Automate or to auto add on the users based on the department. So already like Power BI, if you just use RLS, it will perfectly handle all these row level secure like user based security. Additionally, you can also use Azure AD security groups. Okay, and with Power Automate, you will give an additional security to that. So the 70th question, how can one work as a freelancer in this field? Okay, so there are a lot of lot of platform which you can start your freelancing, like Upwork, Fiverr, in a freelance as a freelancer. So you can just go ahead with Upwork. So this is the one. Okay, you can log in, build a proper biography and your strong portfolio, and you can create it. And then Fiverr. Okay, again, and you also have a freelancer. Here you can type Fiverr. Okay, you can see here you can try the freelance service or freelancer. So even here you can find you can create your profile and become a freelancer, or else Power BI freelance jobs. You can just go and search for that. You will get it. Just go ahead and try. Okay. And the last question is what, how to stay up to date in the field of data analysis. This is really important for everyone to understand how to stay updated. Okay, so follow Microsoft Power BI and Power Platform blogs they have, and you can join the LinkedIn Microsoft community groups as well. Watch YouTube's even for Power BI you have a YouTube channel. They will be Power BI by Microsoft. Okay, so they will be providing what are the updates which are happening every month. Likewise, you have Power Apps, Power Automate, everything. And you have to follow the MVPs, Microsoft Most Valuable Professionals, tech meetups. You can attend some meetups which are happening. You have to also practice the Power BI DAX challenges. Okay, so that is also important. So this is how you can just keep yourself motivated and keep yourself on track on these things. Okay, and yes, we are in the end of this video. Okay, I hope if you have all these questions, if you have even more question, like you can just comment it below. This brings up the end of the session. I hope the Q&A has helped you gain some clarity in the Power BI, Power Apps, and Power Automate. My key advice is keep learning, keep stay updated, and also work in a real world projects and sharpen your skill. Certification and community engagement can also help you boost your career in the space. So thank you all for joining, and I look forward to see you in the future session as well. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to me. Happy learning. Take care and bye bye. Have a great day.